29 phases have been lost. 29 phases have been lost. Think about that. Overnight, 29 phases removed from end of time procedures, potentially. Think about that. F's in the chat for 29 phases. If you guys need any cards, booster boxes, packs, sleeves, anything at all Yu-Gi-Oh related, then please check out YGOcity.com and make sure you use the promo code FARFA5 for 5% off all of your orders. Let's just real talk, just rewind, start from the beginning and talk about this. I have now had a week total to experience these new time changes. I wasn't at YCS New Jersey. I wasn't at the event. I wasn't playing in a Premier event. I played at my locals. That's the only personal experience that I've had with them. That is the only personal experience I've had with these new time rules, is that I played at locals, I played a full tournament, I played against people I don't know, people I do know, my friends, my non-friends, people I barely speak to, and everything in between. So I had an experience of what it's like. There is nothing positive about these new changes. There is no one at locals who enjoyed it. There was no one who thought this was a good change. And if you look further into the community, you will see that there are 0 named, established, famous, proven players, no big names. There, there's no Billy Breaks out there. There's no Hobins out there who are saying that these are overall positive and good changes for the game. The idea and theory behind these changes are good. Yes, tournaments need to go faster. Tournaments need to continue and happen at a quicker pace. Yes, that is true in theory. In practice, this has not been the correct approach in any shape or form. This has not been good. At my personal locals, I remember playing a mirror match and there was easily enough times and opportunities for me to be a complete scumbag and just, take a couple extra seconds in this phase, take a couple extra seconds in that phase. That you can't call me slow playing because I took two extra seconds to maybe look at my extra deck. Especially when I have like a 5-6 card hand with Sky Striker. There's a lot of decision making that has to take place. I can't be like a judge can't call it. I can't have a judge called on me for that. Did I do it? Did I actually go and slow play? No, I didn't, because me personally at locals, I'm not going to be that guy at locals. But for people who are playing with strangers, for people who are playing with people they don't know, at these big events, at these premier events where there's money, like, well, not real money, but actual, decent amount on the line. As long as you make it past top 8, there's money, quote unquote, on the line. iPads, lol. So people will do a lot, and people will do the furthest thing that they can admit to actually getting as far as they can, whether that's abusing the time rules or not. 100 people got disqualified from YCS New Jersey. 100 people got disqualified from the event, not just draws and stuff. By round 4, there was like 19% of players had accrued a draw at that point. Like 19% of players or something, round about that number, had accrued a draw by round 4. Okay, not just round 1, by round 4 over the whole that's like half the event for most people attending, right? That's like half the event. So it's crazy. So if you think about it as well, is it about 3% of the entire player base who attended YCS New Jersey was disqualified. Disqualified. They're going to be banned from this game. They're not going to play Yu-Gi-Oh again for like another 6 months, right? And is that the player's fault? Is that their fault? Yes, of course, to an extent. They've, the same people were stalling. They were playing a little too slow and stuff. Do they deserve it? Yeah, to an extent. However, you need to understand the context in which they're playing in. They're playing in a context that Konami have created a rule where it says, end your current phase. Current phase, that's it. Don't even finish your turn. If you're in your standby phase and time gets called, no main phase. Can't even set up a board. Can't even do anything. Can't go to your battle phase. Can't attack. Like 1/13 of the entire event have been disqualified from Yu-Gi-Oh and are banned from the game. I assume a DQ is an instant ban for X amount of time. So this new rule change exacerbates this toxic style of approach to the game. It makes you toxic. It makes you do things that you would feel shameful for if you were doing it to your friends or if you were doing it to your local. You would be ashamed to do these kind of things, right? And this is the thing, right? Konami are so extreme with their changes. The only people who have defended this are Konami themselves, obviously, or tournament organizers, or people who are involved with Konami in some shape or form. Literal Konami cucks, okay? Sorry to use such a blunt term, but it's true. People who are just in cahoots with Konami is the only people who have justified this change. The only people who like this change, who think it's been implemented well. In theory, in practice, yes, it was a good change. We needed to have faster times. But in practice, no one has defended it. It's been implemented really badly. And as I was saying, Konami is so extreme in their implementations. We went from 6 months ban lists to completely random ban lists, like sometimes once every 2 months, sometimes once every 8 months. Just like we went from set ban lists to just no indication whatsoever when a ban list is coming. They just pendulum swung from one extreme to another extreme. And it's the same thing they've done with this. 5 extra turns is extreme. 5 extra turns is extreme when you consider some of the formats we've had to play that through. Dragon Ruler mirrors, Necros mirror matches, Zoo mirror matches. Those decks don't need 5 turns. Well, I mean, technically they do need 5 turns, but like they should not have 5 turns because we're going to be here all day. We're going to be here all day because, you know, some some shitty like X3 bracket duel is taking place during round 7 because maybe they'll make day 2 with an X3 record during round 7 and they just so happen to be playing like a Dragon Rulers and they have a very long mirror match and who's gonna make them play faster? The judge is gonna come over and play faster. That's still gonna take a long time. It's ridiculous, okay? TLDR, that shit took way too long. But we go to this extreme swing to the other side of the spectrum where it's just finish your phase. It's the same result of poor game design and bad gameplay, but on the opposite side of the spectrum. Now instead of it taking way too fucking long, it just happens instantaneously. Like no one is benefiting from this, like I said, except tournament organizers. Because as soon as you look up at the clock and you see there's 30 seconds left, you can take your sweet merry time to look through your extra deck, to look through your opponent's graveyard, make a play, think for a couple seconds, make the play, think for a couple more seconds, make a play, think for another couple more seconds, ask if your opponent's ready to enter the battle phase, think for a couple seconds in which order you're going to attack your opponent. Suddenly, you know, that 30 seconds on the clock is now time on the round. There you go. Battle phase over, attack, declare, finish your battle phase. Yeah, my opponent technically would have been able to get another turn. They would have had another battle phase in actual good rules. But now we have a situation where the turn player is completely in total control of the game itself. And I think that is very simple. The very simple fix is to meet in the middle. Instead of 5 turns, you get compared to no turns, you just get a phase. You know, 5 turns to a phase. Think about the drop. Think about how far, like, the drop we've went through with this. Think, like, it's insane. We went from 5 turns down to a 1 phase. So we went from, like, how many phases are there in Yu-Gi-Oh? Draw, standby, battle, double main, end phase. 6 times 5. We went from 30 phases to 1. Do you see what I mean about the extreme lengths that this company goes to? 29 phases were just deleted overnight from end of match procedures. 29 phases gone. 29 potential plays just to 1 phase. That's insane. That's actually unreal. So what they had to do was just meet in the middle. I think, in my personal opinion, this is what I saw being said around Facebook. It's what I've said some better players say. And I found the best thing that they came up with was simple. The turn, if time is called during my turn, I finish my turn. My opponent then gets 1 turn. There you go. Both players now have a influential response, an influential say in how the match ends. Rather than me just, you know, fingering my fucking ass and shaking my dick around for like 30 seconds for no reason in the battle phase. Oh, time's called. All right, main phase 2. Set a card, pass. Oh, I won. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I won. Yeah. See, no one wants that. No one wants that. The people doing that themselves would feel shameful if they were playing against their friends or something. And, you know, if you're doing this to people you don't know, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. I think that would have been the best way to address it. But most important of all, the thing is really important to mention is that this just exacerbates toxicity. This encourages, it encourages, I don't care what Konami think it does or what they say it doesn't do, it absolutely 100% encourages toxicity. It encourages this shady behavior. It encourages shady behavior. It absolutely does. Because like I said, you just need to like look up at the clock and you can kind of make your turn play around how you want, where exactly you want time to be called. If you have a long turn, then you can kind of judge for yourself where you want that, which phase you want time to be called in. Because that's the problem. It's one phase. You don't get to decide it. Konami does. Sorry, you get to decide it. Your opponent doesn't get to. Your opponent gets no say whatsoever. If you so happen to be in a situation where you have a long play available to you, you can just do really suboptimal plays. Like we were talking about this before I started recording this just now, where you're able to just kind of like, if you see 30 seconds on the clock here, you're in main phase 2, you can just like, you have a full board, you can start activating cards for no reason. You can like link away your Skull D and Borrowload into like Space Insulator for no reason, just so you can shave off extra seconds by looking through your extra deck, thinking for a second, putting the card physically on the table, linking them away, moving them to the graveyard, putting your monster down, maybe linking, 2 more boss monsters, Space Insulator and Decode Toggle. Let's link them for no reason into Phoenix. Time was way too long. Did it have to be so extreme to the point where we would, have one single phase? No. 29 phases have been lost. 29 phases have been lost. Think about that. Overnight, 29 phases removed from end of time procedures, potentially. Think about that. F's in the chat for 29 phases. If you watch this far, hashtag 29 phases in the comment section. Thank you. See you later.